Hello, this is Dr. Wendy Rowley of the Wonder of Human Design YouTube channel and the playlist's title. Oh, forgive us, I gotta keep reading this. How to Assist in the Creation of Peace on Earth. Oh boy. Okay. So, well, as you know, I'm jumping in and out of various states of consciousness to do this. And I hope you're enjoying this. I'm fascinated by the new information. Okay, I hope you are too. Let's see what comes through today. Whoa, good day to you, dearest beings of light. I am Aliania of Cosmic Service, a Palladian Mother of Sound. Peace be with you, peace be with you, and peace be with you. Continuing on in this series, we're going to do an activation today for what we said is an upgrade on the peace path through the Christ healing spirit body that you all have. And we're going to do it at the end and then end the video so that those who like the feeling can sit and bask in it. And also because at that point we won't have anything more to say. But to segue into that, we described in the last bunch of videos what information is on the various grids at the higher level of benevolence that's coming online. And we described in the last one that maybe spiritual people starting in 2027 might consider, if they have a strong feeling of to do so, that maybe they create in alignment with someone else to see what they could create together in alignment with divine intelligence and see what comes through. Because when you do that, one person is the channeler and the other person is the person who takes the information in or records it and holds space. And that is how the information is brought in cases like that. They will be told what to mine, and they will be told, in some cases, where to get it in the Akashic records, or in the Golden Akash, or in the Galactica Golden Akash, or over on the Christ grid, because all of these will be active in January of 2027 as a new pool of information coming through people who do that kind of work at the spiritual level. Shamans, healers, channelers, and juicy activators like this one. So in this one, we would like to speak about how does the Creator determine what to bring and where? How does the Creator determine what to bring and where? Now this one was fascinated to mine the Akash at one point, and she had heard it in another channeler's work about the beauties of the land. Well, she heard it as the benevolence of a country. But she looked up in the Akash and found something called the beauties of the land. And that in every place on the earth, the Creator has created beauty and particular Akashic information and particular work to come forward from that country in its spiritual nature as it evolves. And wait a minute, how can that happen? Because nations and borders change and people change and these things change, and how can that possibly go forward like that? Because the divine intelligence of the creative source out in the greater field of soul groups works in real time. Can you imagine? That's never been said. It works in real time because your soul is nearly perfect. And you're meshed into the system, as you know, through 3 great levels of consciousness. As we've been saying, Gaia, the Christ evolutionary consciousness tap the microphone, of force and healing, and the divine intelligence of the Creator source that you all plug into when you come into the planet. So out in the greater field is a type of real time, beyond lifetimes, but it's like a quantum entanglement time. So the Creator, in its benevolence, percolates information in various epochs of time, in various change times, and in various renaissances. So the Great Shift is one of 3 great renaissances that you have on your planet. The first big one is the beginning, when everything is laid. The second one is the Great Change. And the third one is when you take your planet, planetary system information, and wrap it up and take it to a virgin planet to help that planet become enlightened. So the system is designed in benevolence and grace. And that system, in the level of nations and tribes and things on the earth, we just did a huge jump, didn't we? We went from big galactic picture right to here. Macrocosm, microcosm. So that information is the same at the time frame you're in. Now it's beyond your particular lifetime. Those time frames are larger, but there's still periods of time where the divine intelligence knows things will be a certain way, and these things can be released during that time. And how is that read? In your old systems from the Bible, of information from the Bible right on through to channeled information of various channelers, they always talk about angels, archangels, and Arakai, great luminous beings that serve the Creator. Angels having a different level of consciousness, and archangels having a different one, but being kind of a group consciousness, and Arakai being larger group consciousness, and often said they overarch nations. And they do. And these creational beings receive information in a different way and transmute it to divine intelligence in a different way that is also read by the creative force. So it's a grand cooperation why they're up in the noosphere at the level they work on, because they came down and worked on your bodies and brought the spirit body system in. And that's talked about by Rudolf Steiner in great detail. This one knows of no other reader, but there are 2 others in different languages that have brought in that information in other countries. And she just doesn't know of that. And she knows what is available on her side of the globe. And so they are now up in the noosphere doing profound work. And they work through conduits like us, higher creational beings who work with them, as much as we may be so bold as to say that. And they are another source of information exchange out in the greater field. And it is their information at the national level that coordinates with the divine intelligence, that also coordinates with the release of the high information from the Golden Akash, the Golden Galactic Akash, the time capsules, and the Christ grid. And so that's how the Creator determines what to bring in. Not only through the soul groups in the greater field, out in the soul group spirit body, higher self that you all share there, the group one, and also by the Arakai, who basically are in charge of migrating peoples, national development, large national consciousness, and large national spiritual information that applies to the greater good of all at that level. And that's a fascinating thing to think about, that you're in a system that is also part of a system that has other creational beings that work with you. Far in the future, they come back down here for some other work, and they will be seen again. But your perceptions will be so developed by then that you will see them in a new way, and you will also see that you don't look very different from them, nor very different from us. And we, of course, are talking far in the future. And we're talking about your spirit body, the way it looks. Right now, your spirit body looks a lot like a human body. But in the future, your spirit body will look more like a soul body. And that's what we have to say about that. Okay, so this is the second activation. If you've been watching this series, you're a little familiar with it. Beautiful melodic sounds are the souls coming in to alignment to receive that from the overarching soul. That goes all the way out to the group planetary soul and the Creator's divine intelligence to allow that to happen, if we may be so bold as to say that. And then there's the brr brr sounds of that happening. And then we won't come back and we will end this tape. All right, here we go. So you can intend to have this, you can just watch, you can come back later if you decide you do want it, or you can just say this isn't for me, but I just want to watch. Whatever works for you, you have free will. Peace be with you.